Hi y'all, just doing a quick video. Right now I'm making hamburgers that I'm planning on putting in gravy. So I can be able to kind of comfort food, you know, mashed potatoes and kind of like Salisbury steak, but it's, you know, burgers in gravy. But here I'm making mashed potatoes, and the mashed potatoes I'm making it from is it's from the potatoes that I've canned, and these are actually organic potatoes. The reason why I wanted to buy them organic is because I wanted to keep the skin on them. I didn't feel like doing a whole bunch of major washing and all that stuff and scrubbing it off and doing all that work and then still wondering if it's actually still good. So what I'm going to do, let's see, is open these up and always make sure they're sealed right. And for me, when I season them with onions and garlic. I seasoned it with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pour them out. So keep in mind these are already cooked. So you can do this same recipe with potatoes that you've just cooked. But for me, it saved me time because it's already done. And I make sure it's sealed correctly. And listening. There we go. Give it a smell. Smells good. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it out. And the juice from it, I don't need this juice. A lot of it's starch, you know, juice anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to my sink and I'm going to pour it out. And after I pour out the liquid, I'm going to go ahead and just throw it inside of the oven. Or not the oven. You could put it in the oven if you want to, but I'm not doing that. I'm just going to throw it inside of my microwave and heat it up for like maybe 5 minutes because I want it to be warm. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and add in my butter, my melted butter, and I'm going to add in a little bit of milk, and then we're going to mix it up, and then bam, we got mashed potatoes. That easy. So I'm going to go ahead and microwave for 5 minutes. I'm just warming it up. I want it to be warm. So let me think. Do I want to pour this juice? Yeah, I'm going to pour the juice out and then throw it inside of the microwave. So we'll be back. Alright, instead of doing 5 minutes, I went ahead and just did 4 minutes. It's really hot. And just so you know, I'm not sure if you know or not, but the jars that I used, they were 2-quart jars. So if you're using 1-quart jar, you could be able to do less. I'm not really sure how many potatoes are actually in a quart. You can do a search online and find that out. But what I have here is half a stick of butter that I melted. I'm going to go and pour this in. And then milk, what I've learned is don't add a lot of milk because it waters it down even more. So I don't like to add a lot of milk. So right here I have about 1/4 of a cup. So I'm add about half of that. Yeah, I added about half of that. And then at this time, you can go in and get your masher and you can start mashing it up to make it, you know, to make your mashed potatoes. For me, I'm going to go ahead and take it over to, you can even put in your food processor and do it that way. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and take it over to my, my mixer. And I'm going to mix it up that way. So let's go on and move over there. Okay, this is an older Bosch. So what I'm going to do is, I have some water here. Let me pour out the water. I don't need excess water. Okay, that's the timer for my burgers. Let me get to that. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour it on in. And it's still warm. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm just going to put this one on. And I have a bowl to cover it, so let me get it. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the lowest setting. I don't have, there's a little thing that goes on here. I don't have it. So this is see-through, so you can actually still see it. It's just a plate. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix it on the lowest setting. Actually, there's a pulse button, so I'm going to pulse it real quick. And I don't see it squirting, so maybe I'll open it up so you can see it. And it's looking good. So what I want to do now is I'm just going to put it all the way on the highest setting, and I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to beat those potatoes up. Let's look at it. I think I want to add the rest of the milk in there. And it's okay. I still want it to taste like potatoes. So there we go. It's all mixed up. So I'm going to stop it real quick. Take it off of the highest setting. And I'm going to go ahead and scrape those sides. And it looks like we're in business. So let me get my spatula. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. And I'm going to scrape the sides. Now, if you want it to be a little creamier, you can add more milk to it. I think this is actually okay for me. I want to be able to taste the potatoes. So let me go ahead and put it right back on the first setting, and then we'll go to the second setting. potatoes. And it's brownish more because I left the skin on it. There's a lot of nutrients in the skin, so I wanted to have it. Let me get that timer real quick. So we have our mashed potatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a bowl. I'll let you see what that looks like, and I'll let you see what it looks like plated as well. Alright, here we go. Here's the plate. Here's the mashed potatoes, and I got some gravy on top of it. If you want to know how I made the gravy, you know, J. Whitten 31 gravy. All the stuff, you know, J. Whitten 31, kale, or collard, or hamburger, or mashed potatoes. But this is what it looks like. Here's the hamburger, and it looks very good, and I've already had the family members eating. And this is my plate here. So there we go. It looks really good, it tastes good, and it's great, and it's nice. And then here is the actual mashed potatoes. Let me just move the camera over a little bit. Here's the mashed potatoes. And I like them because they're nice and thick. If you want them more creamier, you know, again, you could have added more milk. But this is kind of the texture I wanted it. And it's, you know who you're cooking for. So there we go. The mashed potatoes, and take it back to the food. And I think I may put a little bit more gravy on it, but this is going to be wonderful. Maybe a little bit more potatoes. My eyes, let me just stop because my eyes, I'm hungry. My eyes are wanting to eat more than what I need to eat. But there you go. And on behalf of your friends, family, and loved ones, thank you. Thanks for all that you do. You don't have to, but you do. You could be doing so many other great things with your time, but instead you're caring about what goes inside of our mouths and our health. We appreciate you and we thank you. Thanks and God bless.